everyone, welcome to this video on my channel. And yeah, we've got another prediction video to go through. Now, I was meant to have a couple of guests on here, but one hasn't got back to me and the other sort of hasn't got back to me. Things have got a bit more complicated, but anyhow, it means I can use this trusty microphone. Onto the playoffs itself. We've gone from 6 ties to 4 ties, and we're going to be predicting the 4 that's taking place in this upcoming week, in fact. Let's start off with Group A, where Austria are playing Wales. Now, Wales had come into this having been second to Belgium in their World Cup qualifiers group and went above the Czech Republic as well. Obviously, both sides had a good tournament in Euro 2020, with Wales was finishing second to Italy and gave them an all right game, and Austria had finished second to the Netherlands and then gave Italy a good game, an even better one, in fact. But the sad part about Austria is they had quite an awful campaign qualification-wise. They were expected to get second or third, and they finished fourth, but got here because they had a Nations League spot. Luckily for them, they've got probably the best individuals right now, currently. Well, Bale and Ramsey, you could say them, but they're not really at their peak. But Marcel Sabitzer stands out. Marko Arnautovic is a good player too, and David Alaba as well. Some fine players right there for Austria. For Wales, there was no Danny Ward in goal. It's likely that Wayne Hennessy is going to be playing. It looks like a good game, good matchup, because you don't know what you're going to get with Austria, and Wales are a good side, not a great side, but you can expect them to get the basics right. Gareth Bale always does, as not always, but he tends to definitely up his game when it comes to playing for the national team. There's definitely a sense of pride in there. I think Aaron Ramsey, I'm just getting up the squad now, but if Aaron Ramsey's fit, then he'll surely do a good job in that midfield. Connor Roberts at right back, good option too. Ben Davies, he's experienced at Tottenham. Yeah, Aaron Ramsey's here. I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, towards the start, I had a 2-0 victory, but maybe Wales aren't at the height of their powers, and Austria could potentially go to Wales and get at a victory themselves. I am going to say it's going to be a Welsh victory, and I'm going to say Wales 2, Austria 1. I think Wales overall have enough, should be good at the back. I trust them more in the key moments compared to Austria, but it'll be a good game. We'll definitely see who advances. And now next up we go to Group B, where we've got one on game, and that's going to be Sweden versus the Czech Republic. In fact, I could go on this see more section. Sweden go in this with, they could have won on their Group B against Spain. It did not turn out to be. And then they come into this with at their best, they certainly can go all the way. Also, I think they're in probably the toughest group of them all. I mean, it is very even in Group A as well, but then I'd say this group is like that, but the quality amongst the teams are better. There's a blow for the Czech Republic as Patrick Schick up front, not going to be available, and same with West Ham right back Vladimir Kufal. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I don't think he should be playing. Sweden tend to do better without him. With Isak, I know the player Klovanovsky. I think that's his name from memory. The Spurs player Forsberg. Sweden tend to do better with them, and not so much with Zlatan Ibrahimovic involved. I think what we'll get is, for a while I did have this as a game going to extra time because I think it is close. Just seen that we've got Michael Oliver here from the Premier League, Simon Bennett, another familiar name, a predominantly English officiating for this game, and Craig Pawson's there too. I think for Sweden, I think they've got more here to really trouble the Czech Republic. Souček is also going to be a key player for the Czech. You can hit one many yards. Holes as well, good player too. So it is a close game. Things of Czech Republic's, I think Sweden just overall have more here. The two key injuries for Czech Republic has been a blow. I think we're going to get I'm going to say that it's going to go Sweden's way. I think the injuries for Czech Republic has been probably too much of a blow for me to say that they'll be in it for longer. I initially had it going to extra time, but I'm going to say it'll be done in 92 minutes. Sweden 2, the Czech Republic 1. I think the injuries, and I think Sweden just have more firepower than the Czech Republic, and I'm just going to go for them to get this win, but it should probably be a close game. And next we go to Portugal versus Turkey. I'm going to be talking about them first because in the reverse fixture, the winner of this team will be the hosting final. So Portugal versus Turkey. Now, you'd expect Portugal generally to win. However, Fernando Santos has held them back quite a bit. And also, Portugal lost 3 of their main defenders, Cancelo, Diaz, and Ricardo Pepe, which isn't such a loss given his age, but he does tend to be there a lot of the time. So continuity-wise, that might affect the defense a bit. And then you've got Turkey, who have revitalized since some of their troubled results. Stefan Kuntz has helped Turkey get some magic into their team, and therefore they finished solid second in Group F, I think it was. Yes, Group F. And they've got some dangerous players such as Yilmaz and Soyuncu, who is a good player at the back. They're a team in Turkey you can't write off. I think it's going to be a closer game than I initially would have said. I was thinking 2-0 Portugal. Portugal with some good attacking options. Whether Fernando Santos utilizes them on to the best of their abilities is another question. But Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, João Felix, Bruno Fernandes, you could say, is a good player. They've got the attacking options. Whether they use them to their great effect is another thing. Sorry, I just had to kill off a bastard moth. But anyway, Portugal versus Turkey. I think Turkey will give Portugal a good scare. The losses in defence is certainly going to make a difference for Portugal to how well they play, especially Cancelo and Diaz. But I am going to say Portugal will get through the right side. And I'm going to say it will be Portugal 2, Turkey 1. I just think Portugal have a bit more in them, but Turkey could certainly pull off some magic. And now we go to the other game, North Macedonia versus away to Italy. Now, Italy, having come off the back of winning Euro 2020, what do? They only beat Lithuania. And they've lost to... Oh, they also beat Belgium in the Nations League, but yeah, 2 wins and some disappointing results against Bulgaria and Northern Ireland and Switzerland as well, for that matter. That's pretty much what's got them to the playoffs instead of Switzerland. At their best, Italy... If Italy had been playing like they had in the Euros, then they should easily be winning this game. If they could beat Switzerland 3-0 like they did in Euro 2020, then they should be scoring 4 here against North Macedonia, for example. But they haven't been at their best. They went under. They played Bulgaria and didn't even win at home. So North Macedonia can take some confidence in it. People also claim that North Macedonia are in with a shout, having beaten Germany away. But I'd say Germany weren't at their best. They even subbed their keeper at half-time. It was either Neuer or Leno that was playing, and Marc-Andre ter Stegen came on at full-time. Germany obviously weren't at the best, and I'd say they're worse than what Italy are right now. And then Germany go away to North Macedonia under Hansi Flick and obliterate them 4-0. North Macedonia, the thing I'm concerned with for them is I just don't see where the goals are going to come from. I mean, they've missed one of their key players, Bardi. I believe he's the one that's suspended. One of their other key players is coming back from an injury, so that's good news for them. They probably won't fight for possession much. Allow Italy the lion's share of possession and sit back whilst they limit what Italy do. We don't know what Italy's going to do, what they're going to be like, what we're going to get from them. They've picked a number of attacking options that could easily get them over the line here. I don't think we'll see Immobile score in this game because I think North Macedonia will be defending areas that Immobile likes to go into, and therefore the Italians won't be able to serve balls in the box towards him. Similar to what England did to nullify Italy, sorry. I think North Macedonia defensive shape won't allow Immobile to do what he does best. But I think Italy should still have the goal threat in them. I don't think it will be as one-sided as I initially expected, but I do think they're gonna do it. And even if not, I think even North Macedonia doesn't have. For me, North Macedonia just doesn't have a properly proven goal scorer, and Italy do have a good defense, good goalkeeper as well. And even if North Macedonia try and take it to penalties, you've got to get up against Donnarumma, and we saw how good he was when he played in the shootouts against Spain and England. I think for Italy, when it isn't going well, like with Austria and against England, they're good at adapting. And I think even if they get off to a slow start, I think they can regroup. They've got leaders and they can adapt to the game well. I am going to say whether they have to adapt or whether they can just play the way they want, we'll find out. But I am going to say it will be a win for Italy, not 4-0. I'm going to say Italy 2, North Macedonia 0. I think Italy just have too much for North Macedonia, and they've got a number of attacking options and the service to get them a comfortable enough win for them. And I don't see where North Macedonia are going to get much chances from. So that's my prediction. 2-0 Italy. Now, let's get predicting these finals. We can already tell what half of one of them is going to be. Poland versus, in this case, it will be Sweden. Now, this game, I think, will be even closer than Sweden and Czech Republic. I think it is going to be it is going to be close. Poland have a number of good options in the attack and midfield. Lewandowski stands out. So does Milik and Zielinski of Napoli. All good players, and they could cause Sweden some real headaches. Sweden, as I mentioned, their standout attacking threats are Isak, Forsberg, and Kalinski. You know what? I'll just make sure I get his name right. But in the meantime, I do think Sweden also do have a good back line as well. Defensively, they're well coached. I think that. Oh, and Elanga's also. I think he is Swedish, but I think he's called up. And the other player I was struggling to say his name is Kulevsky. He's a good option. And they might bring Zlatan on in like extra time, maybe even for penalties, which he could be a good option. Szczesny, I don't think is the best goalkeeper, so things could be interesting there. The fact it's in Poland as well, that's going to be a big advantage for Poland. I think you're going to see a close game. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think it's going to go to penalties. I think it's going to go down to one miss. And I am going to say Poland 1, Sweden 1, and I have Sweden to advance on penalties. I think if it does go to penalties, I don't think Szczesny is a particular safe pair of hands. He's on his day he can definitely be very good, but there are days where he does start to falter as well. I think Sweden have a little bit more in them, even though Poland's best options are probably better than Sweden's best options. Like, it could go either way, but I'm leaning towards Sweden. And finally, Portugal versus Italy. Now, I do think these two teams will get there. I don't think that there's much of a chance of Turkey and North Macedonia. I think Turkey do have a better chance, but I'd say it's probably going to be Portugal versus Italy. The biggest sides out of all the 12 teams in these playoffs, I think it is going to be such a close game because they're kind of in similar situations. They dropped off to second when they were expected to win their respective groups. They've got both got issues, but different issues as well. I think it's going to be close. Having the home crowd, Portugal should help. Ronaldo versus Bonucci and maybe Chiellini if he's playing. That's going to be a great battle. It is going to be great to watch. Going to be close. I think it's going to go to extra time because I think it might be a similar situation like I was talking earlier when Italy had who bumps in the road. Austria, Spain, extent England, where they had to adapt to what was happening in the game. I think Italy, they've got less within their coach, and and the style, and I think it's the problem more. But I think I am going to edge towards Italy, and I'm going to say it'll be Portugal 0. I think Italy have a little bit more, and I think they you could probably rely Fernando Santos potentially is a recipe for disaster, and defensively they something that they're capable of, and I think can get a good goal from Ratti, Insigne if he's there, maybe even Bonucci. Up Portugal and even Turkey if they get there, and let's say North Macedonia as well, and let's say Italy for that matter. But I think it is going to. So, what do you think? Let me know. Which of these games are you most excited for? That's my other question. I do some of the big days in the international break, and we'll see who advancing, and then next week we'll see who's going to be qualifying. So that's going to be exciting. Let me know your thoughts. And the road to 2022 is getting very close.